figure out some connectivity issues.
I think I'll be okay.
All right.
I hope.
All right. We ready? We ready. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Crewcast. This is your moderator and host, Gabe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing?
Doing pretty
I'm doing
good.
well.
Good day.
Sweet.
Folks,
So,
I am spectacular.
yeah. So what we are here to do today is
Yes, you are,
go
Mark.
over this lovely bracket and decide which video game sequel is the best of them all. And whether that means the best game or the best sequel, it's kind of up to you to decide and for you to argue. So, here are the ground rules. And I'll send this link to everyone as well so you can read it along with me. So, the way this discussion is going to work, for each matchup, each person is going to get a 1-minute elevator pitch. They will have that minute to explain why they think one game is a better video game sequel than the other. You don't have to use your full minute if you don't want to. And if, let's see, you don't have to use a full minute if you want to, and you can leave it off to everyone else. It's okay if you don't know the game. Just, if you have an opinion, say it. And this is your time to talk uninterrupted. Then, once everyone has given their pitches, if they want to, we go into discussion. That's an 8-minute max. It's just free range. Everyone talks about, oh, what about this? What about that? At the end of that 8 minutes or earlier, if we come to consensus earlier, we have to say, all right, we have to vote on which one is better. Which video game is the better sequel. So, if there is a tie, then I will, or one of us will go to one of our SOs and show them the box art of both games and ask which one they like better, or if they've already played both games, which one they think is the better sequel, and that will be the tiebreaker.
Like, as in our significant others.
Yeah.
I definitely think the SO's choosing based off the title art is a better like tiebreaker than one of us actually choosing, because that's less bias.
That's the idea. Yeah.
But what if Mark doesn't have a significant other or Maceo?
Love to be thrown
I just
violently
read it,
under the bus. Love to taste that rubber.
I'll just ask Mark. Me and Mark will consult each other.
That's true.
I
That's
just
actually a
read it,
good
like,
idea.
verbally, and it makes sense in my mind than when you actually.
I can ask my dog, who's eating a rawhide behind me.
Yeah, I don't-
What do you think?
I'll hold 2 games up to her, and which one she licks is the good one.
Okay, let me decide on an order here. I think I'll just go from top to bottom when I see in Discord. So we'll start with Maceo, and then we'll go to Max, then we'll go to Mark, then we'll go to Sam, then we'll go to Matt, and then we'll go to Alex, and then I'll be last. So yeah. All right, Maceo, let me get this set up here. So the first matchup we're going to look at is Batman Arkham City versus Battlefield World War I. Let me get the timer set up here before we get going.
Okay, quick.
Is Battlefield World War I and Battlefield 1 2 different games?
I think it means the same thing.
Okay. And so I'm just pitching which one I think is the better.
Yeah, between these two,
right?
which one do you think is the better video game sequel?
Okay, cool.
You ready?
Right on.
All
Yep.
right, go.
Okay, so I got to go with Arkham City. It's a phenomenal expansion of the previous game. It takes everything that worked in Arkham Asylum and just built it up, scaled it, made it bigger, made it deeper. It's got amazing plot twists, amazing voice cast. It's pretty much just one of the best games ever made, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right. So, Maceo has made his case for Arkham City. All right, next up, Max, let's hear from you.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a case for Arkham City as well. I really do like Battlefield 1. That was a really fun game. It had some fun stuff, but it's just another shooter. And the actual mechanics of Arkham City are also just sort of like punching people. But they add a lot of really cool stuff that I saw. Driving around the Batmobile that's just fun as shit. And then also like I've heard the story. I personally haven't played it, but the story is amazing, and I can't wait to just like sit down for like 6 hours or whatever and just watch the story on YouTube, because I'll never play that game because it's not my type of game. But I know it's good, and I love Batman stuff, so like I can't wait. That's gonna be fun.
Sweet. All right. Next, let's hear from Mark.
I'm just gonna say I do not have a dog in this fight. I did not like World War One, nor did I, and I have not played the Arkham games. I hear they're fine. They seem a little button mashy, but I don't want to shit on nobody's baby here. So I'm gonna let the folks who got a little passion in this take the wheel.
Ooh. All right. A spicy take from Mark. Okay, let's go to Sam.
I'm gonna do what Mark said. Personally, I really enjoyed playing World War One, but I've also never played Arkham. So for the people that have played both games, I'll let them battle it out. But if I was gonna pick, I'd go Battlefield, because I've played it and played.
Fair enough. Okay. Next, let's hear from Matt.
So I've played both these games, albeit a little bit less on the World War One or World War Two, whatever it was. But I liked both of them decently. I think that as a sequel, though, I think Arkham City definitely brings more to the table. I believe it had like a lot more skill trees. It had a much bigger open world. They had like a lot of random encounters, like just random enemies that you could counter along the way. The traversal was really good as well. And also they had a lot more like in-depth story and more characters than Arkham Asylum did. More gadgets. Basically, like they improved in every aspect of the game. I think World War II, like they changed a little bit of it, but I don't think they entirely reworked the entire engine. And I think they were still working. I think both had the same engine, but in general, I think that Arkham City brought more to the table versus Battlefield.
All right.
I think, yeah,
That's time.
that's what I have to say. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you, Matt.
Can I throw in one more thing real quick?
What's up?
Can I just throw in one thing real quick? I'm
Nope,
sorry, I
you
forgot
can talk
to
about
mention
it in the discussion.
Okay.
All right, next let's go to Alex.
All right. Well, I played a decent amount of Battlefield 1 a few years back, and I had fun with it. It's definitely a little different from just like playing a COD game. But it was a game I would just only play with friends, and never something I'd really grind by myself. That being said, I've never played Batman Arkham City, but I'm a huge Batman fan in general, comics, movies, etc. And I've only ever heard great things about the Arkham games. Mark mentioned that the combat is a bit button mashy. I've seen a lot of memes about it just being pressing triangle. But I also do know that you actually have to kind of plan out your encounters using stealth tactics and the gadgets at your disposal rather than just rushing at enemies headstrong with no strategy in mind. And from what I hear, it really makes you feel like Batman. So how could it be a bad game, So despite not having played it, I think just from what I've seen gameplay-wise, and just the plethora of good things I've heard about Arkham City, I'm still going to vote for Arkham City.
Go play it.
Thank you, Alex.
Go play it. It's great.
All right. So it's my turn now. I'll go last. I have to agree with a lot of the sentiments that have already been brought up before, in that I think that Arkham City really brings a lot more to the table as a sequel. I remember being incredibly blown away that they actually said, okay, here's a section of the city for you to play in now. They went from, here's like, a couple of connected play areas in the asylum, but, there's always loading screens and whatnot between the big ones. But Arkham City, nope. Here you are. Here's a whole freaking world. You just get to explore and glide around and do crazy shenanigans in as Batman. Battlefield, I mean, I played it. It was okay, but it kind of felt like another Battlefield game to me. And in my experience, I'm not that into Battlefield that much, to be honest, over some of the more arcadey stuff. So I think I would also have to go with Arkham City. All right.
Right.
So with that, now we can begin our discussion time. Let me just get that going here.
I'm gonna go ahead and
kick it off.
say the discussion time. I don't think we really needed discussion time. It was pretty unanimous between everyone that Arkham City is the clear winner here.
If anybody else has something else to say, though,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I remember you had something earlier, Sam.
I didn't want to mention like one thing that I Battlefield One, or I guess we're referring to as World War One here. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's one of the few games where I have like a memorable moment of gaming with I believe it was Max, and it was like I jumped out of a plane on accident and landed on the top of a cliff that was supposed to be out of bounds but wasn't out of bounds, and it was the perfect sniping spot. And so when Max died, I was like, Max, spawn on me, and we're gonna just snipe from all the way up here. And every time we ran out of ammo, we would just die and then spawn on each other.
All right. I also have a take that I've been stewing on, which is, again, no dog in this fight, except that I really don't like Battlefield 1. And here's my take. Here's my fucking take on that. We're considering these games as full experiences. And I find the way DICE does their single player aspects, like, oh yeah, I know it's you don't play them for the single player, blah blah blah, but their fucking single player experiences are absolutely insulting. It's just it's like some truly weak shit. It's like 8 different tutorial missions in different places. Truly whack. Like, do better.
Oh man.
Be better.
I've never even played the single player modes for Battlefield 1.
Yeah, I got through like 2.5, and I wanted to throw up.
I remember reading articles about how people were like, "Oh, like the first single player mission in Battlefield 1 really shows the horror of war."
No,
it makes you feel like
you're in
World War One.
I thought that Battlefield 1 was like the only one they released that was just purely focused on multiplayer. They didn't put a single player in it until.
Guess what? They did. And it was moist and soft like wet diarrhea, and it filled my diaper just like it as well.
Jeez.
Harsh. All right.
I liked it, but I mean, damn.
Do we have anything else we want to say here to try and sway anyone's mind, or you think we're ready to vote?
I don't think we need to sway anyone's mind. I think we all agree that Arkham won.
All right. Well,
I mean, I like both games, but there's a clear winner.
So I will put 2 sample emojis to react with here. Just go ahead and add on to whichever one you agree with. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
I'll vote it for number 2.
I put 2 there. I mean, do you guys want me to have it so you can just add on to it, or are you okay just like choosing it yourself? I'll always use these 2.
No, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
That's great. Yep.
Cool. So it looks like unanimous for Arkham City. So let's go put that into the bracket. Hopefully, you guys should be able to see this. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll find out.
I gotta go find the bracket again.
All right. Save that. You may have to reload the page. We'll see. I don't know, but at least on my
see what happens.
Reload page.
It worked.
Yay! Wow, planning. Okay. All right.
Hey, it worked.
Next up,
Nice.
let's see.
Technology's amazing.
Next up, we got a really tough matchup with Mario Odyssey versus Halo 2. Maceo, you have the floor.
Oh shit. Okay. Man, I personally have to give it to Odyssey. I do enjoy Halo 2 a lot, but I grew up playing Halo with my friends, but I've never owned Halo, so it's never been like my game, and it wasn't like the thing I grew up on. I grew up playing a lot more Mario games, and even though I didn't grow up playing like Mario 64, Super Mario Odyssey was just such a like.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And we lost Maceo.
No.
Owned.
Oh shit! I'm pausing this timer. Maceo, where you go?
Maceo.
My computer like turned off.
Oh
His
no.
your powerful camera
What's going on?
All right.
shredded it.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that was weird. My computer just like turned off
Exciting.
in the middle of saying something.
It's time to
paused
work.
it.
I'm going for Odyssey.
Let me know when you're ready. Okay, so you're
I'm just saying Odyssey. I was spouting stuff, but
all right. Cool. All right, Max, you're up.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and shit on Mario Odyssey for a minute.
Ah,
So fucking just the bare minimum. Fucking Mario Odyssey didn't do anything new. Halo 2 literally redefined the way we do first-person multiplayer. Like it just straight up did. And Mario Odyssey, like it's just Mario Sunshine, but on a different format. And like sure, it's fun, it's fine, whatever. But if you compare these two, there's no fucking comparison for me because Mario Odyssey didn't do anything new. The fucking multiplayer is like jank as shit, and Halo 2 completely redefined the way we do first person multiplayer because it was online. It was the first fucking console online thing, and it was fucking huge, and everyone loved it. People literally played it until until the server's dying breath. That's how people fucking love this game.
All right.
Mario Odyssey
Thank you,
doesn't
Max.
compare.
You're reaching the end of the time. A bold statement on the impact of Halo 2 on on multiplayer in general. All right. Next, let's go to Mark.
I think they're both neat. Nah, that's fucked. I can't say that. I do. I think I agree with Max's sentiment. I would temper it slightly by saying yeah, it's the first console, but I feel like it basically was just doing what Quake had done, but for a console. But that's not. I still think Halo 2 is the obvious pick here. It's also got a dank story. I love when it's they get into Arbiter racism and stuff. That's cool. I like Covenant racism. Fun plot there. Fun single player. Good stuff. Mario, it's distinct lack of racism. So not quite as compelling.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Let's go to Sam.
my
Look, I only have one thing to say about this topic right here, and it's this. Can you hear it?
Oh my god.
Are you playing a
Jesus.
Halo
Is he,
theme
is he
song?
playing the Halo theme song?
He's
It's
doing
the Halo theme song, boys.
All right, we can't hear
Okay.
it.
Okay.
You guys can
Yeah.
hear it.
Okay.
Understand.
I'm going for Halo.
Halo-
choppy
Halo
bullshit.
literally
All
blows
right, all
my
right.
mind.
Let's go to Matt.
Wait, hold on, I'm not done. I still have my time. Man.
Did you have anything to say besides just playing?
Yeah, I was saying, Halo literally blows Mario out of the water. Unless we're talking about Sega Mario, Jesus, Halo
Is that-
Mario stands for shit.
The
Sega?
goddamn hell are you talking about?
I don't think you've ever played Mario Odyssey. I don't think you've played it.
Look, I might be drunk already. Leave me alone. But Halo fucking wins.
Okay, are you done now, Sam?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. All right, Matt, you're up.
Okay, so I'll first say that I played both these games. I played Mario Odyssey all the way through, and I played 3 or 4 missions of Halo 2. And I will say Mario Odyssey is a great, lovable game, and it brings some new things to the table. Actually, even though some people don't think so, it added the ability for you to throw your hat and turn into stuff, and throw your hat and use that as a platforming tool. However, that's about all that it adds, and it adds new levels, new places. But I think the other Mario games before it had some cooler elements. To be fair, and doesn't bring anything really cool to the table. Halo 2 is a multiplayer game, and as being one of the first online experiences for the Xbox, the first console that Microsoft ever put out, and having it be a game that everybody piled on and played multiplayer for at the very beginning of when consoles were becoming a thing, it is just absolutely mind-blowing. And so I think Halo 2 definitely takes it over Mario Odyssey.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Okay, next up is Alex.
These takes have really hit me deep in the soul, and I don't think I'll ever recover from this. So I guess I didn't think it was going to be the case, but I guess I have a controversial opinion. But I'm with Maceo, and I pick Mario Odyssey. The fact that Max said it brought absolutely nothing new to the table is fucking bullshit, and you're just biased because you don't like platformers. Matt, thank you for at least pointing out the new things that it did add. Oh my god. I was dying when Max was giving his take. That being said, I do not I'm not just dissing the fact that Halo 2 wasn't legendary or iconic. I know it was, and I knew that the hype for it was unreal when it was announced and all that. But I mostly just played Halo Reach a bit back in middle school, high school, and I've never really been that attached to the Halo series, and and like Maceo, I grew up playing Nintendo and Mario games, and just
Okay, Alex, we're reaching the end of your time, so finish it
it's
up.
okay. I can stop there. It's okay.
Okay.
It's Mario Odyssey for me.
Okay. All right, I'll do my take. So I think sort of like Alex, I'm also going to give what is something I didn't think was necessarily going to be a controversial take, although I guess it sort of is. I like Mario Odyssey simply because, Halo 2, great game, brought a lot to the table, but honestly, I think I like Mario Odyssey better because it's a more polished game. And part of that is because it's a newer game, but I don't think I've played many other games that are as much of a joy to simply move around in as Mario Odyssey. Like, it doesn't give you that same feeling. And when you really achieve the mastery to the point that you can complete the really challenging levels at the end of the game, it's so incredibly satisfying and so incredibly fun when you finally get it. When you get those 1,000 jumps in a row and all that nonsense. So I would have to go with Odyssey for this, although I have a feeling I'm going to be outvoted. Okay.
All right,
So-
I'd like a quick note in on discussion. I'll make this fast.
Well,
So
now we are in discussion now, so.
okay,
Go for
yeah. That's what I mean. So Gabe, you quickly mentioned that yes, there's massive time gap, but what you have to understand is that when Halo 2 came out, games were not supposed to be fun. Games were supposed to be a thing that you do, and you get gross and fat, and you
When did
slog
Halo 2
through
come out
it.
again? I'm looking
Halo
this up.
2, I
What
want
are
to
you
say
talking about, Mark?
2000, it's like a
2004?
tedious game.
Really?
Halo 2 came out on November 9th,
I don't know.
2004.
Hey, let's go. All right.
Mario
Games.
Odyssey came out in 2017.
2017.
Halo is like the first step in the growth of the cover based shooter. I would say it's not like a snap to cover shooter, but it's sort of got the same mechanics that they would later use in terms of health systems and whatnot. And it compared to the very first shooters like Quake and stuff, it slowed shit down. It was all about and I thoroughly enjoy it, but I don't think. What Gabe Hughes said is true. You don't get the moments in Halo 2 and really, frankly, I don't think in most of the Halo games where you have this absolute mastery of movement and total fucking highbrow moves. It's just a good kind of 30-second gameplay loop. And so I feel like they're operating on two different kinds of fun. I don't know. That's my take. Sort of weird, underbaked.
I definitely think that you can't say, hey, the gap between the dates is what it. I think if we're looking at it in overall experience or overall capabilities, Mario Odyssey, granted I've never played it, and they might have introduced a couple of new things, but in all reality, Halo 2 was the base of a lot of first-person shooters. Games were based off of Halo 2. Whether we think it or not, there was a lot of thought that went into them. I mean,
I want to hop in and add to
what's
this real quick.
I can't think of it right now because of the way my body is feeling right now. But didn't the Bungie people go on to make what games did they go on to make that? Was it Titanfall?
Destiny?
Destiny.
That's a really good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Hold on.
Bad
Okay,
game, hot
just
take.
real quick. I want to make an important point here. So I'm going to retract a little bit of my statement saying that Mario Odyssey didn't add anything. Obviously, it did, and people who are passionate about that, can attest to that. I do want to say though that in terms of how much it added and how significant, how significant what it added is. I think there's more significance stepping from Halo 1 to Halo 2, not just in terms of going from one game to a sequel, which is, Odyssey isn't technically a sequel, but that's the general idea. But Halo 2 meant so much more to the general population and the gaming industry and all of those things because of what it achieved and what it stood for based on what it did. I'm not saying Mario Odyssey is a bad game. It's just not my type of game. It's not a bad game. It is a very well polished game. Gabe definitely made that a very good point of that. It's a very well polished game. You definitely get those moments that are like absolute peak. You like, oh my god, I did so well. This is awesome. But I just think like how much it accomplished and in terms of how much it added, like Halo 2 just goes way beyond that.
To me, it seems like the question boils down to how do you define which do you value more? Like the polish of the game overall, like which is the better game, or which contributed more as a sequel? That's sort of what I'm hearing from the different sides right now.
What I would say, I mean, like I will. There's definitely like many like breaks I'll give to Halo 2, for the fact that it's a 15-year-old game now or older, and it was at the start of the whole. It was at the start of a huge thing, and so it's something like I don't want to necessarily try and hold it to a standard of like a brand new game, but I will say that on its own, like Mario, there's just like the creativity at play. The little things you will find around every corner in that game, where you suddenly walk into a room and you're just blown away by just the way you solve a puzzle in that room. It's just a very rewarding experience in such a unique way that I feel like
the music's so
the music
good.
is amazing.
Oh my God.
Just every little deep the fact that every level has unique things to it that you will not find anywhere else. You will not find a copy pasted thing in a Mario game.
That's true, but also it's kind of a game that has been done. You have satisfying moments in the other Mario games as well, and sure you have the same satisfying stuff in Halo.
Okay, well but there are satisfying moments in the first Halo, so then there's satisfying moments in Halo 2. I mean, it's kind of the same argument to say about any sequel.
But we're arguing that it added multiplayer and it added a bunch of different things that the previous games didn't have, and Mario does have some added things, but
Halo 1 had multiplayer, didn't it?
No,
Yeah,
it didn't.
not quite.
It had
It
co-op,
wasn't
couch co-op. It did not have online. Yeah.
It had
didn't have
LAN.
online.
I mean, that's a big thing,
Basically
but
nothing had online at that point, which is why it was
Yeah.
feel that it did.
I'm not trying to
Duty
discredit.
didn't
I'm
have
not trying to
online.
discredit Halo. I'm just saying
Sure,
that
yeah.
if I'm looking at them now as two games on the same plane, Halo to me feels like a really good, super tight shooter, where you do a lot of the same things, and then Mario. I mean, again, and this is all just personal preference. I'm not trying to attack Halo, but I just feel like Mario just has this creativity and like Gabe said, this just pure pleasure to to just take it in. That very few games in the world have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you could make a pretty solid case for Mario Odyssey, just because every level is required to have at least a few visually interesting story beats. It's not deep lore like Halo, but just because it wasn't carefully written out doesn't mean a shitload of thought wasn't put into it. A lot of the creature designs and boss designs in Odyssey are an absolute joy to watch, really. And I don't even really like Mario games that much. I'm just not a huge Nintendo guy, but it was a pretty inventive game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I might
Can I
even
just go
switch.
ahead and say,
For ingenuity.
I thought Halo
wait,
2
Sam.
was just going
Can I
to
say
take
one
the
line?
cake out of this.
So one thing that Mario Odyssey did bring to the table, it was the first it's not the first 3D HD Mario game, but in the line of mainstream Mario games that goes Mario 64, Sunshine, Odyssey, it was the first that was in full HD.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if that. I mean, that's just the year that it came out. If you needed to.
I
If
guess-
it didn't come out in full HD,
I
it would
guess that's
be a fucking dumpster
I think
fire.
we're at time, by the way.
But
Just
the
a heads
detail
up.
on Mario's mustache.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get what Gabe's saying. The
Are we at
having
time?
it be on the
I
highest
know, 5
powerful.
seconds.
It did give a whole new level to seeing each world. Every world felt incredibly
Alright.
unique in a way that.
All right.
Anyway,
We got to wrap this up now. So, which game is the better sequel, Mario Odyssey or Halo 2? Go
Gotta
ahead and
say.
cast your votes. I have a
All
feeling
right.
this
Lot
one's
of-
going to be
lot of-
close, so I'm not going to do examples. I'm just going to cast mine. And
folks, I gotta say, a lot of bad takes here. I will
Wait,
not-
how do I? How
I
do
only have
It won't let me.
I only have one option right now.
Yeah, I don't really
Yeah, it
understand
only
how.
gives me one.
All
You
right.
gotta
Okay,
scroll
okay,
through the.
I'll just-
Jesus
Okay, there we
Christ.
go.
So I
Madon.
put 2 there, but
let's
my
scroll
vote is
through
for
it.
Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
So I'll
Oh shit.
I'll take
Whoops.
one away from Halo 2 to count up the total votes because I had to put that as an example. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. I think somebody.
Madon.
There we go. Somebody had to
Madon.
put it in there. Okay.
Actually,
Alright,
you know what?
so-
Fuck it.
There's a win.
Oh,
That was a
oh,
close one.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh,
I
someone
switched.
changed their vote.
I
Okay.
switched.
Shit.
What?
Why would you do
Everyone
that?
good? Are we
Is he
locked
allowed
into
to do
this
that?
for sure?
I live
No,
for
why
conflict.
would you do that, Mark?
I don't know. I thought it was-
All right, Odyssey wins then.
folks made
Fuck.
it good.
What?
Wait, now it's a
No,
tie.
it's a tie. No way.
No, it's
Odyssey.
not a tie because I had to do both of these to make it. You see, I did 1 and 2, and my actual vote is for Odyssey.
I thought you
Mark-
said you took it off.
I wanted to, and
No,
then
he-
people were like,
Alright,
oh, well, I
come
guess I
on,
can take
guys.
it off now.
Mark, what the fuck?
people wanted the example. at the
Folks,
beginning.
folks, if you want to do this right, you got to be willing to hear the points of your comrades here.
All right, Mark.
All right,
You
Mario
dopey, you
Odyssey
dopey
is
sluts.
the
All
winner,
right.
causing chaos. Okay.
What the actual fuck? Because I thought Halo 2 would just run the show.
Yeah, I bet you thought
That's
that.
what happens when you only play
You,
multiplayer
Mark,
games,
you're fucking full of it.
All right. Next up, we have Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. I wrote whole saga because I couldn't fit all of it there. This is GTA 5. Let me get the timer going here, and get the voices ready. All right. First up is Maceo. Take it away.
All right. Here's hoping. I'm gonna start with this just in case I cut out again. I'm gonna say Lego Star Wars, but I do really enjoy both these games. I think GTA was definitely like a very impressive game at the time. I think it's way the fuck overblown now, and that it's still like a thing. But that's just it's just a personal opinion on that. But it is very impressive in its scope and in just how grand it was and just how much we all played it as a group. But for me, there's just Lego Star Wars was one of like my first games that I like 100%ed, did everything in. I grew up a huge Star Wars fan, so that's definitely gonna leave me biased. But then also just like the little fun things of the fact that characters never spoke and they just had the little like comedic bits to kind of like do physical comedy for everything. It was just such a charming game that I love it.
All right. Thank you very much, Maceo. Next, let's hear from Max.
So I'm going to argue the sequelness for GTA 5 here. So from GTA 4 to GTA 5, GTA 5 added online multiplayer, which although now is like very cash grabby and kind of shitty, and
GTA
it can
4 has
still
a
be super
multiplayer.
fun.
This is Max's time.
And all of those things can be true for now, but when it came out, everybody was like, holy shit, this is awesome, this is so fucking cool, I've wanted to play GTA with my friends like for a long time, this is super cool. And they added so much fun shit, and it was a little grindy, that's true, but it was online GTA, like there's literally nothing else like it. It was fucking cool. That's kind of all I have to say.
All right.
Well said.
Thank you, Max. As a moderator note, just like so everyone is
Yeah,
on the
sorry
same
about
page,
that.
'cause there are a couple folks talking about it. GTA 4 did have a form of online multiplayer, but you are definitely right in that it was much more limited in scope compared to GTA 5.
Okay.
Okay, next let's hear from Mark.
Folks, the older I get, the less I like Grand Theft Auto 5. And it's not just like it's an older game, but like even just like the humor of it just feels tired to me as I get older. Like all the weird little riffs on like Hollywood culture that I think are pretty. I get that it's like a lowbrow series and that's fine, but it just feels like I don't know. It feels really dumb. But whereas the Lego games, not a huge fan. Again, this is kind of one where I really just don't have a super strong feeling either way. But like the Lego games, they have a sense of timelessness to them, and I don't think that they will age too poorly. But they'll never reach the heights of Grand Theft Auto. But like, God, I just think that Grand Theft Auto is kind of aged like milk.
All right, mic drop. Thank you, Mark. Next, let's hear from Sam.
So I think I've only played Lego Star Wars once, and I'm pretty sure it was in a McDonald's little game thing. You remember when McDonald's had that shit? But like GTA, like the base of our crew that we have, I believe it's like an 8 of us. GTA is like what brought all of us together. Like we collectively probably have 2,000 hours in the game amongst us all, probably way more. My vote's going to be for GTA, as much as I hate to say it, because GTA has turned into a pay to win type game. Also, I think I sent this to Gabe the other day. PlayStation 2 had 3 GTAs.
Yep.
GTA 5 has had
3 consoles.
3 consoles now,
Yep.
because when the PlayStation
All
5 comes out, it's going to be 3 consoles.
All
So
right, thank you, Sam. That is the end of your time, but yep, that is quite something. All right, next let's hear from Matt.
Okay, so I have played both these games to completion, and I love them a lot. And GTA is the multiplayer aspect. Lego Star Wars is the couch co-op aspect. However, I'm gonna pull the age card and experience card, and I played Lego Star Wars before it was a whole saga. I played the first one, the original trilogy, and then the older one that they came out with later, back on the PS2, I think it was. And I prefer those ones, actually, because the biggest thing that the Star Wars whole saga did is they changed the area that the hub world, basically. They changed the hub world entirely. And I think the originals had a lot more, like, kind of, a lot more reverence to them, because they were unique to each one. So, like, in the original trilogy, you had this one, and I think it was on that one white ship at the beginning of New Hope.
Okay, Matt.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. That's okay, that's okay. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you, Matt.
It's better because the hub
Matt
world.
talking about how, in fact, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga doesn't bring anything to the table other than a new hub world. All right, next let's hear from Alex.
All right. Well, I don't have strong feelings about GTA. I know that the story mode is supposed to be pretty good. I never could get past like the first 2 missions. I just couldn't grow interested in it. And then the multiplayer aspect, for me, was just us dicking around and never getting anything done. And I don't have, great memories of bonding over GTA. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing or achieving for like the last hour? Nothing. So yeah, I know that it can be a fun game, and I know a lot of people love it. I just personally don't like it very much. Don't care for it. But I am a big Star Wars fan, and I was a big Lego fan growing up. And I did play Lego Star Wars, like the old ones on Game Boy and whatever, some other consoles as well, later on. So not that I love Lego Star Wars like a lot, but I just really don't like GTA 5. And the fact that people... Okay,
Thank
I'll
you,
stop
Alex.
there.
That's time. All right, I guess it's just me. I'm really torn on this one, actually. I think as a game, I love Lego Star Wars more because I really hate what GTA has become today, like what it's grown into. But at the same time, I have to admit that Lego Star Wars is really just mashing together the 2 previous games into one package. Whereas GTA 5, even if it did so in a bit of a scummy way, definitely innovated on the previous games, like creating a whole online economy, basically, and creating a legitimate sense of pride and accomplishment when you work your way towards certain goals in the game. So, as much as I hate it, I think I might have to give this one to GTA simply because of like all the new things it brought to the table. So that is all I have to say, and that ends the pitches. So let's go into general discussion now.
So I'm gonna kind of elaborate on what Gabe says there. I really do agree with you there. The one problem I have is like, unfortunately, I think I'm the only person that has spent extra money on GTA inside of the crew. Unless you're willing to grind on your own in public lobbies and not in private lobbies with friends, which personally I find no pride in, or I mean, there's probably pride, but I don't find the joy of being in GTA 5, especially the whole world, without having friends in the world with me. And so, like, the APC that I bought that with literally money that I worked for. I literally, the price it cost was an hour of my life. And it's just kind of annoying that once it got past the heist, everything else just became like a stupid grind, like spend 5 hours at a time doing one thing. And I think you appreciate that more than a lot of us do.
Yeah,
Gabe.
when I'm talking about what it does,
Was that a positive take for GTA or a negative take for GTA?
Couldn't-
It sounded
couldn't
like
Yes.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both for me.
it
What the
sounded
fuck?
hella
yeah,
negative.
I think
Yeah.
Sam, I totally agree. That part is the worst part of GTA. And when I talk about how it innovated, I'm more thinking of like the early days when they had things that you actually could get to. Like you could actually play the normal missions with friends, and after a couple hours, you could actually get one of the cars or something like that. I'm talking about those days before everything got so expensive that you basically had to pay money or endlessly grind to get anything.
Yeah.
I
Hey, also,
think the mechanics
Alex,
were
I
great
wanted
too.
to ask something.
The driving. You got to talk about the
Oh.
driving because the
Yeah.
fucking driving in GTA 4 was poop.
That's true.
And then they really just did a number on it in GTA 5.
I think they
and,
made
like,
a
it
driving
was-
game in between.
Alex,
Just ripped
I
off
did
the
wanna
mechanics.
ask-
Yeah, it felt great, and no wonder. Like they invented like a ton with that, and I'm like very happy that happened because goddamn.
Alex, I did want to ask you something. I'm sorry, forgive me if you were, and I just can't remember. Were you around when we all were like grinding through the original heist missions? Like,
Mhm.
no.
No,
So
we didn't meet-
I
that was
think
before
that's
college, I think, right?
I think that's a
Yeah.
big reason why you don't like associate the memories with us, because like I remember me, Max, Matt, Gabe, we all. I think we spent 5 nights on the final heist before we got it done.
It was
That
so.
doesn't sound like a good thing to me. That sounds like a negative.
Yeah,
It's
that
like-
sounds like
okay.
shit.
It wasn't. It wasn't because
Also,
like,
you can't debate like a game being a better sequel than the other based on your personal memories. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could. If
it's
it,
very subjective. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
It's
these
like-
are
I
our
think
opinions,
was,
and,
like,
and that's
fucking,
what you're basing your
Odyssey, though.
opinion off of. That's fine. But everything that you have covered about GTA 5 just makes me
Anecdotal.
like it less and less.
no, and I
Yeah,
completely
I'd say-
understand that. Like that's personal, but like for me, it was more of like the frustrating of the game. It was the fact that I was spending time with friends that I care about, and instead of people that like I don't care about.
Not
Like, I was
sure.
willing to spend 10 hours a night, and unfortunately for me at the time, like everyone lived in Oregon, and I was the only person that lived in Florida. So like 3 a.m. here was like their bedtime, and I was
Hold on. I have a take I want to make real quick, and it's gonna be right out of fucking left field. I don't think anyone is gonna see this one coming.
I'm ready.
In the games industry, GTA 5 set an absolutely abysmal standard for how to treat your workers. Rockstar basically hired a shitload of people to do a very last-minute job in the final months of development, and then immediately sacked them as soon as the game released. And that, like, happened. Crunch time has always been a thing for game development. But, like, GTA 5 proved that, like, you could do it and make billions. So I actually think it is not only a game that has had some like negative effects or like had like some kind of bad storytelling and some mean stuff. I think it's like actually had like negative effects on the world and for the people who worked on it. So
I would
maybe
like
a
to say
weird.
that
So okay, so real quick.
in
then,
copies
thank you.
alone,
Hold
they
on,
made
hold on.
Wait,
$6 billion.
Sam, let Max talk.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spark stuff, but just like real quick, at this point, like especially for someone being very interested in the games industry and potentially wanting to go there at some point far in the future, like I totally agree with you. That's a really good point to make, and I really appreciate you making that.
Hell yeah.
I'd say in the context of this discussion, that is like a negative point for GTA 5. And also, I want to say that like the experience card that Matt played, where he's literally played all of them to completion, all of the Lego Star Wars ones, and like they didn't really add anything. Like in terms of like sequels and the best sequels, Lego Star Wars is like a true neutral because it didn't do anything that was shitty and didn't do anything that was good. GTA 5 had both of those, but I think you have to weigh both of those things.
No, I agree. I mean, I think by the technicality of how we're doing this, like GTA wins, but I want everyone to feel bad about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Don't get me wrong, but like, we did say, Mark, I think you brought up the revenue. So I find this stuff interesting. So in profits alone from just actual physical copies of the game they sold, they made $6 billion off of it. It cost them $265 million to make the game. So that doesn't even account for the shark cards and everything that people have bought.
Oh my god!
Alone.
Yeah,
So
I think it's
they
still the
literally
highest
have
grossing
paid
entertainment
a
product,
crap load of money.
right?
I think so.
It is.
For a while.
It is, according to
Did
a lot of
beat
people, the most
League of Legends?
successful game to ever
Oh
come
yeah, League
out
of Legends.
ever.
But
I'm just saying, if we're talking about the most like highest grossing entertainment product, like that's one of the biggest ones. That and like like Warcraft shit, like those are huge. And if it's beating those, that is impressive as hell.
like Jesus,
All right.
yeah.
So
But
we
at
got
what
about
cost?
45 seconds left.
All right, I'm ready to vote if you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready to vote too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So everyone.
Oh,
everyone who-
wages,
no one
not
else would like to
revenue.
discuss
My bad.
I don't think I can really add anything that's interesting.
I agree.
Then let's vote.
Oh wow, thanks, Matt.
Hey, I was like, hey,
We'll start out.
relax.
I'll add the two examples, and once people have added their votes, I'll take away the one that I don't actually want to vote for.
Okay, I know this is the second time that I've done a contrarian thing in the voting section, but is it fucked up if I abstain?
Yes. you have to vote.
Well,
Alright,
yeah,
fine.
we have uneven numbers, so
Fine,
we
fine,
need it.
fine. I'll do it. Not happy about it. Let the record show.
All right. GTA is the winner.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I hope to
Hate
smash it
Hate
in
to
round
see
two.
it, but
Yeah. Fucking
sometimes that's just how
vote
it
that
be.
shit out.
Yeah, get rid of it.
All right. Next up, Mario Kart Wii versus Modern Warfare 2. Let's hear from Maceo.
Weird.
Okay. I mean, I guess I never really played Mario Kart Wii that much. I mean, I played a lot of Mario Kart, so I guess there's just that I have. But I mean, I don't know. Mario Kart Wii for me, like I would say what I saw for it was that like it just for all intents and purposes, great game. It's a great Mario Kart game, but it just kind of felt like Double Dash where there was motion controls, and I don't like motion controls, so that kind of just fucks it all up for me. Modern Warfare 2, I mean, like I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan overall. I enjoy them, but like I do think Modern Warfare 2 is like a pretty solid sequel, especially in terms of like giving like really setting the standard of what multiplayer became, and what has kind of been for a while now. Even if it's gotten stale now, I think that it was like set a really good standard. So I'd give it to Modern Warfare 2, even though it's not like that for this round. I don't have super high stakes on either one, but I'd say Modern Warfare.
Thank you, Maceo. That is time. Next, let's hear from Max.
One point I want to make against Maceo, Mario Kart Wii, you could turn off the physical turning feature. It was fun, but you could turn it off, and it
That's
honestly
fair.
made it way more fun. But in general, like I don't really have any clue what either of these games really added on to whatever series that they're a part of. I mean, they were both pretty fun games. That's kind of all I gotta say. Because like Mario Kart Wii was like it was very fun. You could just like fuck around and play with your friends. I think it improved on some of like the actual driving mechanics. Again, assuming you're not using the stupid motion controls. But then Modern Warfare 2 also had like a really fun storyline, and multiplayer was a big thing. But also it like set the standard for like, you know, shitty people on Xbox Live, you know, yelling slurs at each other. So I think there's something to be said for that as well. I don't think anybody slurred at each other from Mario Kart unless it was in like a private setting. Which,
Oh, did you see that donkey video though?
You
Oh,
fucking
God, no,
toadstool.
Okay. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt
that-
you a little bit there, Max, but that was bad.
no, that's good. I was done. I was done.
All right, thank you. Next, let's hear from Mark.
All right, who among us, did not thoroughly enjoy being constantly called the N-word in a search lobby? Just kidding, nobody. It sucked. Yeah, This is yet another case where game fun, but game bad for society. I did not particularly like most games on the Wii. I think it's a lame system. I gotta say real quick, I had super fucking admired Nintendo for constantly reinventing the wheel with their stuff. It's bold as shit. But the Wii U or the Wii crawled so that the Nintendo Switch could run, and we appreciate that. Yeah. So I guess again, like a tentative Mario Kart Wii, just because racist making game bad.
All right, thank you, Mark. Next, let's hear from
Eloquent.
Sam.
So I think this is the first category, the first one out of all of these, where I can actually say I have played both of these. My clear winner is definitely Modern Warfare 2. While I enjoyed playing Mario Kart Wii, it was great if I had friends with me. Modern Warfare 2, on the other hand, is the best Modern Warfare Call of Duty in period game to ever see anything. So the campaign was excellent. The multiplayer excellent. Maps just perfect. Terminal, all of them. The one desert one, I can't remember the name of it. It's just everything about it fucked. So it's the best Call of Duty game to ever see anything. So that's it. I'm just voting right now. Call of Duty.
Okay,
That's it.
Thank you,
Modern
Sam.
Warfare 2. The way to go.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Next, let's hear from Matt.
Okay, so I played both these games as well, albeit I played Modern Warfare a lot later in its life cycle, so I can't attest to that. However, I did play the game before Mario Kart Wii, Double Dash, and I really like Double Dash, and Mario Kart Wii kind of felt like a step backward for me, just because it removed 2 items, and also it added the motion controls, and I know you can turn them off, however, there's one I don't think you could turn off, was the shaking of the Wiimote in order to do tricks. Tricks were like the big
That's
thing
true.
that they added in that game, and if you wanted to do the tricks, if you want to get that little boost to win the game, you had to shake that Wiimote. And so for that reason, I don't think that Mario Kart Wii was a super big advancement. I know we had a lot of fun with it, did some good tracks, who can forget DK Mountain, that was a great track. But also I don't know, I think Modern Warfare 2 did a lot more for the series, and as we say as gamers, don't blame the player, blame the game. And it's not the player's fault that was a really toxic game. It's just how the Call of Duty kind of community evolved. And I think that Modern Warfare was just dumb fun.
All right, thank you, Matt. That is time.
Yep.
Next, let's hear from Alex.
Actually, you can totally blame the players because the players were the ones that made it toxic. So there's that. Anyways, you guys probably have already noticed that I have a pretty big Nintendo bias. So it's going to be Mario Kart Wii, even though I don't even necessarily like Mario Kart Wii. I agree with what Matt said. Double Dash was amazing. GameCube was a fucking underrated console. And the way they took away the little buddy system from Double Dash away felt like a step back. They added motion controls because that was the Wii shtick. And like Mark said, they're bold sometimes when they want to be, and they can do some weird shit. But for me, it wasn't that great. Some people, like the motion controls. They think it's more fun that way. Whatever floats your boat, really. I do appreciate the amount of memes that have come out of MW2, but that's about it. Yeah, so the winner for me is Mario Kart.
All right, thank you, Alex. All right. So now for my take. So I'll preface this by saying that I played Mario Kart Wii, but I haven't played much Modern Warfare 2. So here's the thing. Sam was talking about how it's so innovative, but the thing is, I've always heard that the first Modern Warfare was the really innovative COD multiplayer game. So with that in mind, and also keeping in mind the fact that Mario Kart Wii was like the go-to party game in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, because it was on the Wii, which is one of the most common systems, and because it used motion controls, it was more accessible to people who weren't like traditional gamers. So I think in that sense, it really innovated. And of course, it brought along all the Mario staples like great tracks, cool carts, that kind of thing. I understand the complaints about not bringing in the buddy system from Double Dash, but I think that was really Double Dash's thing. So I'm glad they innovated a little bit with it. So my vote is Mario Kart. All right. Just reached the end of the time there. So now let's go to general discussion.
I want to start the discussion with just a quick point for
okay,
Modern
Sam,
hold on a sec.
I want to make a quick
point.
Right, I want to make a quick point for Modern Warfare 2. I gotta say, maps for Modern Warfare 2 were honestly spectacular in terms of like level design and like specifically how they anticipated people playing the game, and the amount of testing that they did on those maps and the very slight changes here and there that they probably did like a ton of times. Like, I think that's really cool. And Modern Warfare 2 had some of the most iconic maps in the entire Call of Duty series. Yeah, that's kind of it. Go ahead, Sam.
I never said it was innovative. I said that okay. Hold on. I need to compose myself. I never said it was innovative. I said that like it definitely took what Modern Warfare 1 had and made it the best form that it could. And I personally think it has gone downhill ever since then. I see that. I think we have Modern Warfare 3 on here at some point for the thing. I'm not sure. No, it's Black Ops 3. I think every Call of Duty except for Black Ops 1 has just gone downhill. Like, personally, from there's just been nothing better. And I don't know if that's because the times have changed or if I have changed as a person, but I don't think that anything has gone uphill in Call of Duty in a very long time.
I hear that, and I raise you Black Ops 2.
Yeah, Black Ops 2. Yeah, I think. Do we argue that on this thing at some point?
I'm not sure it's there.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't know why we put Black Ops 3. We should have done Black Ops 2. Black Ops
Probably
2
Jesse's picking. He's not here anymore.
Yeah.
I like I said, like, granted, the second game of a series is always probably going to be the best. It's like the way the movies go. The second movie is probably always going to be the best. The third, it's downhill. It's just downhill from there. You really can't better yourself.
What about Thor Ragnarok?
That's
Okay.
true.
Strong point right there.
What about Spider-Man 3?
Okay, you know.
Wait a second. What about Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, what about Spider-Man 3?
all movies.
See, Marvel
like
series
Dancing
is a different thing.
Okay, we're not talking movies. We're not talking movies.
All right, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
It's a different podcast.
that's my argument. Besides what we have mentioned, there's really no bettering Modern Warfare 2.
Did Modern Warfare 2 have like survival mode? Is that Modern Warfare 3?
Modern Warfare 2 had survival. Me and Max,
So they did add that. I'm pretty sure they added that from
me
Modern
and
Warfare 1.
Max, I remember the countless hours that we put into survival.
Modern Warfare 3.
Was it Modern Warfare?
Yeah.
I thought we did
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
might have
Modern
been.
Warfare.
It was.
I was thinking it might have been. Yeah.
So but I don't know. There's a lot. I really enjoyed Call of Duties up until about like Advanced Warfare, and that was about it.
I think Mario Kart Wii. I want to bring back up what Gabe said. The part about how he was like, "Oh, it's it was like the go-to party game and made it more accessible to people. I think that's bigger than we realize. Like, there's a lot of like small points for Modern Warfare, and I think there's a lot of small points against Mario Kart Wii. But I think the accessibility argument is a lot bigger of a plus for Mario Kart Wii than we've been talking about.
That's
Was
just
it
how
more
Nintendo
accessible than like Double Dash though?
Yes, because a lot more people had a Wii.
Oh,
That's
okay,
true,
fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also because
I do agree with that. Like, the Wii was the most popular console at that time. So
Okay,
Yeah. Also because I think the thought of saying, okay, here's a controller, it goes into this thing that looks like a driving wheel, which you're already familiar with, press this button to go, and then just turn it like a normal wheel is a lot more accessible to people who haven't played games before compared to, okay, here's this controller with a ton of buttons. Oh my god, what do I do? Which ones do I press?
the GameCube controllers are fucking ridiculous, though.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong,
GameCube
controller is
controllers,
a
I
fantastic
think-
controller, but in terms
Optimal
of
Smash
being
controller.
approachable, maybe not accessible, maybe accessible is the right
No.
word, maybe approachable is the better word, but approachable to people who have never really picked up a video game before or are just not comfortable with it. I
Yeah.
think
Okay, I see you there.
Mario Kart is miles ahead in that sense.
yeah, why don't we have Wii Sports Resort on this shit?
Good question.
That wasn't a sequel though. That was his own thing, kind of.
It
Like,
was.
No, Wii Sports and then Wii Sports
Definitely
Resort.
a sequel.
That's correct.
all right,
That-
all right, all
Definitely
right.
a sequel.
I'm not sure
Fair
it would
enough.
win
But like,
anything,
it was,
though.
It was a sequel.
it kind of was, but also like it came like sports came with the Wii, and so like everybody had that. Like
Yeah.
That's
it
a
was
good
like
Still a
point.
it
game.
was a basic game that
It
like
was
you
one
know.
of- It's one of the most sold games of all time, specifically because they counted that it was sold with the Wii,
I
which
still
I
can't
think is some
believe they did that.
shady business practices. Yeah.
Mario Kart Wii was sold separately, so
Anyway,
It
I
was
think I'm
like
ready to vote.
$10, wasn't it?
I'm ready.
all right.
Yeah,
Does
let's-
anyone else have
let's vote on this
anything
shit.
else they want to bring up?
Yeah, I'm ready to vote.
All right. Well, here you go. Let me add the examples here real quick. All right, have at it. Oh. Okay,
Whoa!
I'm taking away my vote, so yeah,
I wasn't surprised. Oh
Modern
man,
Warfare
I was
2
actually surprised by that.
is the winner.
Damn.
Can't say I
Okay.
agree with it, but that's what the votes have decided. Okay, so let's mark that down, and then we are also just about getting to the 1 hour mark here. So I thought this would be a good time to, this would be a good opportunity for everyone to take a quick 5-minute break. You know, get some water, feed your cat, do whatever, and we'll be right back.
Okay, good plan.
Oh, alright.
I've literally been baking cookies the last